you asked me what the problem is with all this. So you see homelessness. You see all these homeless people on the street in LA or in San Francisco or Seattle or Portland or Vancouver, or you see it in a lot of cities. It's really bad in LA and San Francisco, and the West Coast for some reason has a ton of it. So, you just, like what LA is doing, you put them up in housing. Problem solved, right? And we're done.
Not really.
No, because you peel back the layer, the top layer of that, underneath the homelessness is drug addiction, pretty much 100% across the board. None of these people are down and out and just like, oh my God, I'm homeless. That doesn't happen. They're all drug addicts, and even when they tell you they're clean, they're still lying. So you peel back the drug addiction layer, and what are you going to do? You put them all in rehab, which is going to be tremendously expensive, and it's not going to work all the time. But that would be part of the solution, but it's not going to be the solution. So you peel back the layer of drug addiction, you've got mental health. They all have mental health issues, and you can't just magically fix their mental health. The damage was done when they were little kids, when they were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. With whether it's neglect or abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, whatever, just terrible parenting, terrible role models, terrible, and they don't learn this. Let's say you got them off the streets. Let's say you fix the drug addiction, you get them therapy for years, and you fix the mental health issues somewhat, but they still don't know how to do all the things that we all know how to do, like build trust in others, gain the trust of others, how to handle money, delayed gratification. They have no concept of that. Everything is just like, how do I make a quick buck right now? Yeah. That's the only thing they know. If they have a job interview on Monday, like if I had something like that or a meeting to go to, I would know how to show up. I'm going to kick ass on Monday. These people don't know how to do anything like that. They probably won't even show up. They don't know how to be on time. They don't know how to do anything in order to advance their lives. I think it boils down to their self-worth is so broken that they don't believe they deserve anything better. Yeah. So if you don't believe you deserve anything better, you could be handed $1 million. Here's a winning lottery ticket. Go cash it in, and you got $1 million. They're going to fuck it up as fast as you can see it, as fast as you can imagine.
Have you had any drug addicts or like sad stories like that in your own friendship circle?
No. Like all my friends are clean as a whistle. I've never smoked pot.
Really?
Never smoked pot.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Little alcohol every now and then?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't lately, but I'm not a drinker. I don't have a problem with drinking. My dad used to say to me, he still does. He goes, you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't gamble, you don't chase women. What do you do? Everybody does something. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's a sign of being raised well, maybe.
Yeah, no, I was raised really well.
You don't need the escape.
I mean, the way my mom raised me was like, I can't imagine a better. I really think the problem. So you start going back to peeling the layers back. You go back to where did I leave it off? So you got the mental health problems. You peel back that layer, and then you got the broken family. In a lot of these stories, dad was absent, or dad was in prison, mom's on drugs, sister's a hoe, brother was in a gang. What do you think she's going to turn?
Stepfather was abusive.
Yeah. And it's like
boyfriends were abusive.
So the families are broken. Yeah. So you peel back that layer, and why is the family broken? Well, they're growing up in a community that there's no opportunities, there's no education, there's no role models, there's no nothing. It's just like figure out how to survive at 12 years old. Yeah. And that's what they're looking around what everyone else is doing. Everyone else is a con artist or a hustler. I got to figure out my hustle. And if you're an attractive female, you're going to become a hoe. And if you're a dude, you're going to become a drug dealer or a gang member, and you're going to rob people or do whatever. And that's what happens. Those are extremes, but to some extent that happens in a lot of communities.
Growing up in a good childhood, in a good family, and then being exposed to these people over and over and over again, what kind of an effect has that had on you personally?
Initially, I thought I was super resilient. Like I'm strong, not physically strong, but I'm strong mentally. Like I can handle anything. Advertising, advertising. I was playing around with big money and big jobs and big campaigns, and it was very, very stressful at times. But I handled it all. I was cool with it. But when I started doing this project, I recognized that I knew from Create Equal, the book I worked on, what it's like to deal with these kind of people, because I interacted with a lot of them. So I knew getting into it I was going to get robbed. I was going to deal with hustlers and con artists and thieves and liars. I knew that, but I dove in, and that's a barrier to entry. Like people watch my channel, like, oh, I want to do what Mark's doing. Oof. Good fucking luck. Like every day I want to quit.
Well, you're really good at it too. You have a very non-judgmental way of communicating with people that allows them to open up. It's very comforting.
Yeah.
You seem like a very nice guy, and when you're talking to these people, you're very flat.
Yeah. I'm not, like I can interview the Ku Klux Klan or a pimp or a pedophile. Yeah. I interviewed a guy named Marshall on my channel. He's an older guy. He's probably in his 70s, and he was having intercourse with his daughter from 6 until 14, and her best friend, I think. And he eventually did prison time for it, but he's free now, and he's living in this. He's living in Florida. And I interviewed him, and I'm talking to him as if I'm talking to you right now. Like I could be interviewing or interacting with. It's not about how I interview. It's how I interact with others.
And he was open about this?
Yeah. I've interviewed a bunch of those guys.
Did he have shame?
He didn't seem to, but he said some of the right words. But it wasn't like he broke down. Like if I had done something like that, I'd be crying, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. You couldn't.
Did that happen to him when he was younger?
I asked him about that, and he said, I suspect something might have, and who knows if that's the truth or what. I don't know. Probably did. He didn't recall anything, but he suspected that something happened.
But you do see. Go ahead.
But my point is that whether I'm interviewing the Queen of England or a homeless drug addict on Skid Row, I treat them the exact same way. Nothing in my behavior would change, whether I'm interviewing a pedophile that's having sex with his daughter or the president.
Yeah, well, it comes across, and you have a very good way of getting these people to relax and communicate.
I realized this. Before I started this project, I knew that, because I saw it like during my advertising career. You deal with all kinds of people, and I saw over the course of my life. I've been around now long enough to see that a lot of people just love to open up with me and tell me shit they shouldn't be telling me.
Yeah.
I'm a stranger. You just met me 20 minutes ago, but you're telling me all this person. Like, there's something about my personality that makes people just relax and trust me and just tell me all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. I'm not judgmental. I know that. Like even the pedophiles. I don't condone what he did. I don't approve it in any way. I think it's horrifying. But my job right then is not to condemn him and say you're so fucked up.
Right.
It's just like, let me just hear your story, because I'll bet you there's something we can learn from it. There's something that we could understand better that maybe we can apply to figure out how to prevent this in the future.
Do you think that's possible? Like, with all the interviews that you've done and this overwhelming number of fucked up people that you've interacted with, how does, like, Skid Row's grown considerably just since I've been there. Like, when I first went there was the early 2000s. It's much, much bigger now. It's a much bigger problem.
It's all over the city.
Yeah. How does that genie get put back in the bottle? I mean, how does one ever...
That's why my channel is not an intervention type show where I'm trying to fix everybody and patch them up and put them back into the real world. I can't do that. I'm one person. I believe the solution is to show people I'm putting these videos out there so everyone can see this is how this happens.
Right.
Let's not do this anymore. Let's figure out another solution. Perhaps like if dad stayed in the family and the parenting was like something that would benefit the kid and not cause them trauma.
Right.
That would be great.
But the odds of that happening from one of your videos are very small.
Very small.
So does it feel futile sometimes?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But I'm the most, it's ironic that I'm doing this really, really dark project because I'm the most positive, hopeful person you'll ever meet. I'm like a Pollyanna. Yeah, I'm a Pollyanna. I don't think that'll ever change.
And that hasn't had any effect on your own personal relationships, the way you view human beings?
Yeah, I'm aware of how often people are con artists and hustlers and how dishonest people can be. Because I never encountered that to the extent that I do now. Whereas when I go down to Skid Row, it's like it's a different world. And literally everybody is trying to get my wallet, trying to get whatever I've got.
Right. Camera equipment.
You name it.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's like to be surrounded by that many hustlers and con artists and thieves, and it wears on you. And just recently, I exercise a lot. So every morning I'm working out for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it never wore on me. I don't get sore. I'm in great shape. Just in the last 3 to 4 months, I'm like, God damn, I'm sore. What the fuck is going on? Like, I'm not doing anything different. I'm not eating anything different. I'm like, what is going on that my body is just hurting? And I suspect what it is, it's the mental toll after 3.5 years of doing this. That's finally catching up.
I would imagine. I mean, I think
I heard
inescapable.
Gabor Mate say on your show,
Yes.
I think it was on your show, he said that whatever happens to you mentally manifests physically.
Yeah.
And it's like, it makes perfect sense.